He made a wish in the cemetery, hoping to see his deceased mother again. Unexpectedly, something strange happened. The man suddenly fainted. When he woke up, he found his hands had become very young. By the time he left, he had turned into a teenager. He not only moved faster than before, but riding a bicycle also became much easier. Before he could realize what had happened, he noticed the cars on the road were brands that had stopped being produced decades ago. Finally, when he passed by a mirror, Thomas realized he had become a teenage boy. Soon he thought of his mother, whom he had not seen for years. Nervously, Thomas walked to the front door of his home. A familiar yet unfamiliar man appeared at the door. Memories rushed back. Thomas quickly realized it was his father. Confused, he was called over by his father to help with chores. At that moment, Thomas saw a familiar figure in the kitchen. It was his mother, whom he had not seen in 40 years. He held back his tears, seeing him standing still. His mother thought he was tired and told him to rest. He then went to his room. Movie posters he loved were on the wall, various animal figurines, and some popular music records. All of these filled Thomas with emotion. The beautiful memories of his childhood came back. His sister thought he had gone crazy. Thomas believed this was all just a dream, and that he would wake up after sleeping. But when he woke up at dinner time, he found his parents and sister were still there. Many questions filled his mind. Was this really not a dream? But there was nothing he could do. He could only take things step by step. The next morning, Thomas was still a teenager. He instinctively touched his beard. Although he looked 15, he still had the mind of a 50-year-old. Then he went to school with his sister. At school, Thomas saw his old friends, and the girl he once had a crush on. Although he had traveled back in time, he did not think about pursuing the girl. He only wanted to understand what was happening. He soon got a clue. After school, a friend invited him over. At his friend's house, Thomas saw a science fiction novel. It told the story of someone traveling back in time and changing their life. Thomas seemed to understand something. He immediately left his friend's house. According to the novel, traveling back was meant to change fate, so his return must also have a purpose. He remembered that something big would happen that year. His father would suddenly leave one day, abandoning the whole family. No one knew why, and there was no warning. Thomas wanted to ask his father why, but it would seem too strange now. In the end, he said nothing. However, this time Thomas had the mind of a 50-year-old. He soon noticed details he had missed before. His father stayed in the bathroom every night, as if he was avoiding his mother. Their relationship did not seem stable. Soon Thomas found another clue. His mother asked him to bring something to his grandmother, so he rode his bike to her house. It was already noon. His grandmother asked him to stay for lunch. While eating, they looked through old family albums. They came across a special photo. It showed his parents and a strange man. Thomas then learned something. The man was his father's childhood friend, and also his mother's fiancé. But war broke out at that time. His father died while resisting Germany, so the friend asked his father to take care of his fiancée, which was his mother. That was why his parents got married, so they were not together because of love. Thomas began to guess the reason for his father's departure, but he still had no clear proof. After returning home, Thomas searched his father's drawer, hoping to find evidence. Although his father seemed like a good man, Thomas's instinct told him his father was cheating. Thomas began watching his father every day. Finally, one day, his father made a mistake. A strange woman called his father. He lied to his mother, saying it was about work. No one knew what they talked about. Soon after, his father said he was going out to fish. Thomas suspected his father was secretly going on a date. He insisted on going fishing with him. To his surprise, his father did not refuse, and they really did go fishing in the countryside. It seemed Thomas had overthought it. Thomas took the opportunity to chat with his father. During the conversation, he learned something new. His father worked as a tailor, altering clothes for others, but his father admitted he did not like the job. It was only for the money. His father did not love his mother or his life. It seemed he had not been happy all these years. It was just that Thomas had never noticed before. However, during his investigation, Thomas never found any evidence that his father was cheating. Gradually, he began to doubt his own suspicions. But why would his father leave home this year? Something must have happened. Besides investigating his father, Thomas continued attending school as usual. School felt childish for someone his age, but the girl he once had a crush on was there. Instead of paying attention in class, he spent his time drawing her portrait. Unfortunately, the teacher caught him. The teacher scolded him for not paying attention, but the teacher was younger than him. Unable to tolerate it, Thomas talked back. As a result, he was kicked out of school. Soon news of his behavior spread throughout the school. The girl also heard about it. Instead of disliking him, she admired his drawings. She began to take an interest in him. From then on, they started spending more time together. The old Thomas had been timid and shy. Now he was confident and composed. He answered all her questions perfectly. The girl was quite mature for her age. She was deeply attracted to his personality. Before leaving, she gave him a kiss. Their relationship developed quickly. They ignored their classmates' opinions. They walked home together after school, or rode bikes together for fun. One day the girl even brought him to her house. She asked Thomas to teach her how to draw. While Thomas focused on teaching, the girl kept sneaking glances at him. When the moment felt right, she took the initiative and held his hand. But Thomas pulled away. After all, he had the soul of a 50-year-old man. He was not interested in a young girl. Perhaps he only wanted to make up for past regrets. After leaving, Thomas felt increasingly bored. He realized that missing someone in the past was not always regret. Instead, he missed his wife and 2 lovely children more and more. He found a phone and called his wife's home. A young voice answered on the other end. At this time, his wife was only about 10 years old. Thomas told her they would get married in the future, and that they would have 2 daughters. She thought he was crazy and hung up. Thomas missed his family even more. He wanted to travel back again. He went to the cemetery. He remembered that this was where it had happened. He closed his eyes and made a wish to go back. But nothing happened. Clearly it did not work. Thomas then remembered the science fiction novel. It said time travel was meant to change fate, so he realized he must have returned for a reason. At that time he had missed his mother deeply, and the reason for her death was his father's sudden departure. His mother soon fell into depression and passed away. Thomas took his mother out to relax. He told her to be happier, not to be trapped by family responsibilities, to travel more. But this only confused her.
C'est drôle, mais depuis quelques jours, je te trouve différent. Peut-être que tu grandis tout simplement.
Thomas fell into deep thought. Instead of persuading his mother, it would be better to convince his father not to leave. Then his mother would not die. But Thomas still did not know why his father left. One day he saw his father sneaking out again. Thomas tried to follow him, but this time his father refused. Thomas sensed something was wrong. His father left without explanation. Soon Thomas came up with a plan. He borrowed a motorcycle from a friend, then secretly followed his father. They drove along a rural road. It turned out his father was just delivering altered clothes to a client. But Thomas did not give up. He kept following him. Finally, he saw what he feared most. His father hugged a strange woman. Thomas was completely disappointed. He himself was a devoted family man. Why would his father cheat? He drank heavily to numb himself. The next day, his mother woke him up. Thinking about her tragic fate, Thomas decided to talk to the woman. But before he could say anything, the woman explained everything. She had terminal cancer. That was why his father came to see her. Although they were childhood sweethearts, his father had never cheated. Thomas was speechless. He had not expected this truth. He returned home. He wanted to comfort his mother. She was so pitiful. She had a husband who never loved her, and the man who truly loved her had died in the war. But Thomas did not know what to say. Then he went to find his father again. Still he said nothing. His father looked at him thoughtfully. Thomas realized he could do nothing. He truly did not know what to do. Finally, his father left that day. The woman with cancer had died. There was no reason for him to stay. Thomas rushed out on his bike to chase him. With no other options left, he sat beside his father, who was about to leave. Thomas confessed that he was a time traveler. After his father left, their family lost its source of income. His mother had to work to support the children. She soon died from exhaustion and heartbreak. Thomas begged his father to stay, but after thinking it over, his father still chose to leave, because he had never lived for himself. A job he did not love, and a life he did not love. Such a life had no meaning. He boarded the train and left home. Thomas could not understand his father's coldness. He returned home. He kept comforting his mother. He told her not to be sad over such a heartless man. He was not worth it. She should find someone better in the future. He did not know if she listened. Thomas had done everything he could. Would anything change? Fortunately, he now had the mind of a 50-year-old. At worst, he could stay and take care of his mother. However, as he rode past the cemetery, he suddenly fell off his bike. He slowly closed his eyes. When he woke up, he had returned to his own time. He looked at his mother's gravestone. The date of her death had not changed. Perhaps nothing had changed at all. Or perhaps it had all been a dream. Even if it was just a dream, he realized how much he loved his family, and he would never become someone like his father. He slowly walked home. On the way, he passed a man who looked like his father. Would abandoning family really bring happiness? Thomas did not stop walking. Finally, he saw his wife and children. He smiled. At least he was better than his father. He had never let his family down. Thomas turned this experience into a comic. It earned him a lot of money, and gave his family a better life. Was it all just a dream? Or perhaps he was the one who once wanted to abandon his family, and this story was simply a comic he created, to remind himself never to fail the people he loves.